Panic is usually the first sound in the room. It arrives before logic, before patience. Before understanding, it makes people speak too fast, choose too quickly, and reveal more than they ever intended. Panic convinces people that the moment is everything, that if they don't act right now, they'll lose forever. And that belief alone has ended more plans, more ambitions, and more futures than failure ever has. Understanding, on the other hand, rarely announces itself. It sits quietly. It watches, it notices patterns. It remembers what happened last time and the time before that. When you understand the game, the noise around you loses its power. You stop confusing urgency with importance. You stop mistaking movement for progress. You begin to see that most chaos is not danger, but distraction. Think about how most people move through conflict. Someone challenges them and they rush to respond. Someone disrespects them and they explode. Someone threatens their position and they scramble to protect it. Every move is emotional, reactive, and loud. They believe strength is speed, that confidence is volume, that power is visible action. But that belief is exactly what keeps them predictable. The person who understands the game does not rush to defend every attack. They know that not every move deserves a response. Silence, when chosen deliberately, can be more unsettling than words. Stillness can make others uncomfortable because it forces them to confront their own panic. When someone realizes you are not shaken, not hurried, not desperate, the balance shifts. They start questioning their own position. Machiavelli understood something most people still miss. People reveal themselves when they feel pressure. Panic strips away strategy. It exposes fear, insecurity, and impatience. That is why so many systems rely on creating urgency, deadlines, threats, public pressure, emotional manipulation. The goal is not resolution. The goal is reaction. Once you react without thinking, you are no longer playing your own game. You are playing theirs. Understanding the game means recognizing that every environment has rules, even if no one says them out loud. There are rules in school, rules in friendships, rules in leadership, rules in competition. Some rules are fair. Many are not, but they exist whether you like them or not. Panic comes from pretending the rules aren't there. Power comes from learning them. Watch how people behave. When they think they are losing control, they talk more, they exaggerate. They try to intimidate, they appeal to emotion. These are not signs of strength. They are signals that the other side is afraid. You might see the board clearly. The calmer you become, the clearer those signals get. Most people think understanding the game makes you cold. It doesn't. It makes you precise. It teaches you where to invest energy and where to withdraw it. It shows you that winning is not about dominating every moment, but about surviving long enough to choose the right one. The game is rarely decided in the loud scenes. It's decided in the quiet decisions no one notices at the time. There is a strange confidence that comes from realizing you don't have to respond to everything, that you don't have to prove yourself in every conversation, that you don't have to correct every misunderstanding. Immediately, when you stop chasing validation, you start gaining leverage. When you stop reacting, you start observing. And observation is where real control begins. Panic narrows your vision. Understanding expands it. Panic makes you focus on what you're about to lose. Understanding makes you focus on what you can still gain. Panic locks you into the present moment. Understanding connects the present to the past and the future. It reminds you that this moment is part of a longer sequence, not the final chapter. People who understand the game are often underestimated. At first, they don't rush to show their hand. They don't announce their intentions. They don't need to be seen as powerful because they are busy becoming effective. While others burn energy trying to appear confident, they conserve it while others speak. They listen while others panic. They plan. There is also a moral test hidden inside this understanding. Power without awareness becomes cruelty. Strategy without restraint becomes destruction. Machiavelli's ideas are often misunderstood as encouragement for manipulation, but at their core they are about realism, about seeing people as they are, not as you wish them to be, about preparing for the world you live in, not the one you hope for. When you understand the game, you stop being surprised by human behavior. You stop taking every betrayal personally. You stop expecting fairness from systems that were never designed to be fair. That doesn't make you cynical. It makes you grounded. It allows you to choose when to trust, when to protect yourself, and when to walk away without burning everything down. The hardest part is learning to sit with discomfort. Panic promises relief through action. Understanding demands patience. It asks you to wait while others rush, to hold your ground while others flail, to resist the urge to explain yourself to people who have already decided what they want to believe. That restraint feels unnatural at first, but it is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Every game rewards those who can delay gratification, those who can sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term advantage, those who can take a hit without losing their composure. The moment you realize this, you stop asking, "How do I look right now?" and start asking, "Where does this lead?" And here is the truth most people don't want to hear. If you are constantly panicking, it's not because the world is too dangerous. It's because you don't fully understand the environment you're in yet. That's not an insult, it's an invitation. Panic is feedback. It tells you where you need to learn, observe, and grow. So learn the rules before you try to break them. Study behavior before you judge it. Watch patterns before you make moves. Train yourself to pause when others rush you. Train yourself to think when others try to scare you. Train yourself to stay calm when the room gets loud. And then do something most people never do. Commit to understanding before reacting. Commit to patience over impulse. Commit to clarity over chaos. The next time pressure hits, don't ask how fast you can respond. Ask how well you can see the board, because the moment you stop panicking is the moment you stop being controlled. If you want real power, real confidence, and real direction, start now, slow down, observe. Learn the game you're in instead of complaining about it. Practice staying calm under pressure until it becomes your advantage. Choose understanding every single time panic shows up, and watch how differently the world starts responding to you. Panic usually enters first. It doesn't knock, it doesn't ask permission. It floods the room, fills the silence, and convinces people that something must be done immediately or everything will fall apart. Panic makes the heart race and the mind narrow. It pushes people to speak when they should listen, to act when they should wait, to reveal when they should conceal. Most people think panic is a response to danger, but more often it is a response to not understanding what is really happening. Understanding moves differently. It doesn't rush, it doesn't need to prove itself. It watches long enough to recognize patterns. Instead of isolated moments, when you understand the game, the same situations that make others frantic start to look familiar, almost predictable. You see that what feels like chaos is often repetition, the same fears, the same tactics, the same mistakes recycled again and again by people who never learn to pause. Look closely at how people behave under pressure. They repeat themselves, they get louder. They exaggerate consequences. They frame urgency as necessity. These are not signs of strength or certainty. They are signs of insecurity. Panic wants you to believe that time is your enemy, that hesitation equals loss. But hesitation, when guided by awareness, is often what separates those who survive from those who collapse. Machiavelli understood that. People reveal more in moments of fear than in moments of confidence. When stakes feel high, masks slip. Intentions leak through tone, timing, and behavior. The one who understands the game learns to read these moments instead of being swallowed by them. While others are focused on defending their image, the observer is gathering information. While others are trying to regain control, the observer is noticing who truly has it. Most people are trained to react from a young age. They are rewarded for quick answers, fast decisions, immediate responses. Speed becomes confused with intelligence, but speed without direction is just movement. The game is not won by those who move the fastest, but by those who move with purpose. Purpose requires clarity, and clarity cannot exist in panic. When you understand the game, you stop interpreting every challenge as an emergency. You recognize that not every confrontation is meant to be won, and not every loss is meant to be avoided. Some moments are tests, some are distractions. Some are traps designed to pull you into emotional reactions that weaken your position. Understanding allows you to tell the difference. There is power in refusing to be rushed. When someone tries to force urgency, they are often trying to control the outcome. Deadlines, threats, emotional pressure, public embarrassment. These are tools, not truths. The person who understands the game knows that control often depends on timing. By slowing down, you shift the balance. You make others uncomfortable because you are no longer following the script they expected. Silence becomes a language. Stillness becomes a message, not because you are afraid to speak, but because you are choosing when speaking actually matters. People who panic fill space with noise. People who understand fill space with intention. Over time, others begin to sense the difference, even if they cannot explain it. Understanding the game does not mean becoming cold or detached, it means becoming deliberate. It means deciding where your energy belongs and where it does not. Panic wastes energy on moments that feel big but lead nowhere. Understanding conserves energy for moments that actually shape outcomes. This discipline is uncomfortable at first, especially in a world that rewards constant reaction. But discomfort is often the price of control. There is also freedom in realizing that not everything is personal. Many attacks are strategic. Many criticisms are projections. Many conflicts are less about you and more about what you represent to someone else. When you understand this, you stop internalizing every challenge. You stop defending your worth at every turn. You begin to choose your battles instead of being dragged into them. People who understand the game tend to be underestimated. They don't announce their plans. They don't demand recognition. They don't confuse visibility with influence. While others chase attention, they build position while others argue over appearances. They shape reality quietly. This often frustrates those who rely on chaos. To feel powerful, panic shortens your timeline. It makes you believe that the present moment is the final one. Understanding stretches time. It reminds you that most outcomes are the result of accumulation, not explosion. Small choices repeated consistently matter more than dramatic reactions. The game is rarely decided in one move. It is decided in sequences that reward patience and punish impulsiveness. The ability to wait is becoming rare and therefore valuable. To wait without freezing. To pause without retreating. To observe without disengaging. This is not passivity, it is discipline. It is the refusal to let someone else's urgency become your responsibility. When you master this, pressure stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like information. Understanding also forces honesty. You begin to see the systems you are part of for what they are, not what you wish they were. You stop expecting fairness from structures built on competition. You stop expecting loyalty from people driven by self-interest. This awareness can feel harsh, but it is stabilizing. It allows you to plan realistically instead of emotionally. The game is always being played, whether you acknowledge it or not. Influence, power, reputation, opportunity. These forces are constantly shifting. Panic blinds you to these movements. Understanding sharpens your perception. You notice who benefits from confusion. You notice who stays calm when others lose control. You notice where the real leverage sits, often far from the spotlight. The moment you truly understand the game, panic starts to feel unnecessary. Not because challenges disappear, but because you know how to face them. You trust your ability to adapt. You trust your patience. You trust your awareness more than your impulses. This trust changes how you carry yourself. Others feel it, they respond differently, even if they don't realize why. Now here is the point where this stops being theory and starts being a decision. If you keep reacting the same way, you will keep getting the same results. If you let urgency control you, someone else is already winning. Decide today to slow your responses, to study behavior instead of judging it, to observe patterns instead of chasing moments. Commit to learning the rules of the environment you are in, not the one you wish existed. Train yourself to pause when pressure hits and ask, what is really being asked of you? Do this consistently, not once, not when it's easy, but when it's uncomfortable. If you want leverage, if you want clarity, if you want to stop being controlled by chaos, start now. Choose understanding over panic every time it shows up and prove to yourself first that you are capable of playing the long game.